People, welcome to Eagle Leather Trading Co. I am Michael Eagle. This is
the Leather Revolution.
Today I'd like to introduce you to a backpack I just completed. It has a matching knife mounted on this front shoulder strap. Has a little K-bar, faux K-bar handle wrap. 2 compartments, 2 pockets on the front. It accommodates the Kel-Tec Sub 2000 9mm fold-up carbine. I'm kind of digging it. Let's take a look at how I made it. Remember, if you like it, you should share it. And if you make it, you can wear it. Welcome to Eagle Leather Trading Co. I am Michael Eagle. This is the Leather Revolution. Okay, this is the current tactical EDC backpack, which has a main compartment here, which is really about a 4-inch. And then the front compartment, which is about a 3-inch. Here's the front small pocket on the top, and here's the lower pocket. This is an additional add-on, if you will, accessory add-on. Again, got this on Amazon. This is a 3-mag holder. So I'm going to make this bag only out of leather. The only thing I haven't cut yet, this does have a little knockoff GoPro on it, and then a little Harbor Freight knife and sheath on there. Fully functional. I use it on the bike. Alright, so I will need to cut these straps, but I will keep this intact. Here's the waist strap, and then there's also the front strap that goes across your chest. Alright, so this is what we're modeling it after, and of course it's going to be leather, so it's not going to look, and it's not going to be zippers, it's going to be buckles and straps, so it won't look exactly like this, but it'll be like on the same premise, if you will. Here we go, tactical backpack project, and the plan is to have the graphics go across all the pockets on the front, so it looks like it's one big graphic. And I've measured this according to the backpack, and I'm trying to put the piece that goes in there, my EDC for the backpack, and then fold the top over, the closure where the straps and the belts will go, so I'll know where the graphics are going to end up. So right now I actually need a handful of clamps. Alright, I think I have a pretty good fit on this, so that once it's all closed up and all the pockets are on, then all the graphics will line up, and I will tighten them up a little bit in a minute. Alright, there they are, all in place, and then we're going to put the graphics on here. These are just 4-inch stencils that I got off of Amazon. Finally got something I deemed acceptable, and that will spell out leather. And I know it's not in one line, but 3 people have seen it and read it. I'm like, what does that say? They said leather, not Leith ER. Well, it could be lethal emergency room, I don't know. Anyway, so that's how it's going to lay out now. Alright, there it is. I did the spray bottle. The dye is still kind of wet on top of the plastic, so I'm going to wait a minute. So the plan is to go over this on the edges and work in the mahogany. That's just like a base coat. You can see right there. Ah. Well, I got some big drops on there. But I think it's good enough that I can do the swivel knife. And then when we go over it with the, yeah, it's ruined. Go over it with the mahogany. I guess I could have a better spray bottle. I don't know, it looks kind of mappish. Yeah, we're not going to abort this much leather. Again, worst case scenario, we dye it black. But we're still going to tool that in and go from there. And I'll go ahead and tool it before assembly so everything's in place. And then hopefully the little clip marks, we'll be able to get it back in place just right so it all lines up. Cool. I'm guessing the dye ran off of the stencil in those darker spots. Other than that, everything looks pretty cool. But I could have gone lighter and I could have gone more of a straight down technique. I may have had a little bit of side spray. You see how it kind of bleeds that way when I was spraying it. If only I was taller. Actually, we'll go ahead and trim these off so that I can do the stitch groove. And we'll punch our holes and set it to the side and get busy on the backpack. Alright, there are the welts for both sides. Even though you don't really need one for the back side, it just adds to the fullness and the thickness of it. Alright, cool. There are the welts. So once we start doing the stitching punch holes, stitching iron, we'll do all that at one time. Alright, time to tool. That's a little bigger knife. That's a Harbor Freight $12 survival knife. It's got all the stuff in the handle. 12 bucks. I mean, whatever, if it breaks or whatever. Look, that's, what's that called, a drop tip? It's not a big deal. But I carry this on the front of my backpack, so I'm going to have a matching sheath. This will go onto the backpack just like the old one. Alright, here we go. I am going to round the bottom edges. Okay, now I measured this to fit or to match the backpack. I think it was like 10 by 17, right? Which is everything. So I actually altered the plan and decided to cut the back panel about 1 inch on each side wider, so the backpack will taper in a little, which means as the gusset goes around, it's probably going to gather a little bit, but it's going to like come in a little and taper in. So in order to round those, I actually got my little, what do you call that? A little like that. Just use this to make the edges, to round them off a little bit. Alright, that's marked. Flip it, meet the bottom, bring this to the side all the way up. This one has a hook on it somehow. Alright, we'll trim the flush on this side, flush on the bottom. All the way up, all the way over. Right. So we'll line everything back up and get ready to tool. We really just need where we're gonna swivel knife, but so we don't have a bunch of watermarks. I'll go ahead and spray the whole thing. Subscribe! Go ahead and tool it real quick while the moisture is good. Okay, these are what I've been measuring, and how to situate the straps as to avoid covering up the graphics. So I'm going with, instead of all the way around and like coming up from here and covering that, I'll attach it here, which will be 13/16, so 1.5 inches. Each little mark is a 1/16, 13, 14, 15, 16. Get right on our line. So it's 3 little marks in. It never looks right, but it is. And once that's folded, half of an inch to spare, puts our mark at, man, now we're at, let's go 3 inches overall. So at the 1/2 inch mark, put our hole right there. Okay, so there's the center, and then there's 1/2 inch. So we'll just use that. Okay, so that's in the middle of it now. So we'll separate that. Here's the 1/2 inch and the 1/2 inch on the cutting board. We'll straddle our little mark. And that looks off. Let's check, double check. It is. There's 2 holes there. It's the second one to straddle this way. I mean, just like a millimeter. I've been putting that saddle skirt under there. Gotcha. Looks cool. Man, that gives us a lot more down here than I was anticipating. But probably have to take a little bit more off of that. Let's do 1/2. There's 1 inch in between, so we'll go 1/2 of an inch more. We'll set it right down in the middle. Put our little pad under there. Bam. Now the little bar, the tongue or center bar, has room to move. Let's just mark them on our strap. One. And 2. I laid out the gussets and all the little pieces, the buckle straps, the belt straps, and then I laid the stencils on top, and then I covered some of the end pieces I don't want to dye with some pieces of cardboard. And then think that's about it. Go a little further. Oh, there's the drips. The condo shop. I'm gonna have to let that dry. Let's get those off of there before they drain on it. Bless you. See, it's already dripping right there. Oy. Yeah, oh, it's kind of messy. Well, it's gonna match. I did the blot with the rolled up t-shirt method. Just like blot, 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 blot. Except right over the leather tooling where I went sideways and up and down so it didn't get down in the creases. Same thing on the knife sheath to match. Alright, let's play with some leather dye technique with the blob or the blotting technique. All the tooling's done. Again, that stencil actually saved me from having to trace it all out. I just sprayed it with the dye so it marked it. So I did the swivel knife. And I don't want to fill in the lines. I'm going to start with the outside. Get some of the dye off of this t-shirt rolled up. I've seen a couple of people do this technique. And kind of leans towards the crazy horse look. Oh my God, of course, I just got my hands all covered with dye, Lola. Now you want up? Go in your little bed under the coffee table. All right, again, we're gonna try to get some of this dye off this t-shirt. I just dropped it in the bucket yesterday when I got through, so it's got quite a bit on it. Hold on, Lola, my hands are dirty, baby. And I'm narrating. And I pretty much used up all of the light brown in the spray bottle just recently. All right, now we've got a little bit out. Let's try to go like across lightly so that it's not so wet it fills up the tooling. So a quick pass so it doesn't have time to soak in and fill up those little crevices. Again, this is the gusset, the main compartment gusset. There's another one. I guess